Hello and welcome to the Sex Love Revolution. I'm Kristen Wright, and today we are talking about why you might want to put down your vibrator just for a little bit and try masturbation with your hand or using a crystal or glass pleasure wand. Let's get down. So why do you want to put your vibrator down for a little bit? Well, first things first, I just want to say I'm not here to tell you that your vibrator is bad news or that you need to ditch your relationship with it, but I do think if you've only ever learned to experience pleasure or if you only orgasm through a vibrator, then it's really important to also experience your pleasure with your hands, with the tactile sensation of your hand, or using a crystal or glass wand or something that is not vibrational. So have you ever heard that what fires together wires together, or wires together fires together? It doesn't matter which direction it goes. I think just as they're wiring and they're firing together, then that's the statement and that's how it goes. Anyways, if your brain is only associating orgasm or pleasure through like the vibration of your vibrator, then your brain is only going to be able to wire that amount of pleasure or that orgasm with that sensation. Now, tell me in real life where you are getting the experience of a vibrator. It doesn't exist, right? Beyond the real life or the reality that you're using your vibrator to get off. But it's not something you can recreate necessarily with a partner. So it's really healthy to explore your sexuality from another lens. I also often think about this, like, I've been to a sex show in my early 20s and you see these like dildos that are like rotating round and doing all these radical things. Like, I have yet to see a penis that does the same thing. So if you're in a heteronormative relationship or partnership and you aren't experiencing like tremendous amounts of pleasure, or you aren't experiencing orgasm with your partner, then this could be why. Now, of course, if you aren't and you use like vibrators and dildos with your lover as part of your love making, then maybe this message is not for you specifically. But I do think for every person that exploring their pleasure, exploring their body, making these connections with our hands to our body, like creating these neuronal networks, are so very healthy. And so breaking up with a vibrator or like a mechanical dildo that's doing loop-de-loops can be really healthy for you to explore other avenues of pleasure, or explore what pleasure feels like from a holistic standpoint. And again, this is not like a hierarchy, like being able to orgasm with your hand makes you a better person or something like that, but I think it's definitely worth exploring. And often, if you have only masturbated a certain way for so long, for example, you've only masturbated with a vibrator on your clitoris for a certain amount of time, then you have an orgasm. It's going to take a while for your brain to rewire. Just like if you have only orgasm by rubbing your clitoris, say, against pillows or blankets or that kind of thing, and that's the only way you've been able to orgasm since childhood, then exploring with your hand or a crystal wand is just another way, another avenue for you to experience pleasure, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. So if you are someone who has the goal to orgasm a different way, Don't lose hope when you transition from using a vibrator or transition from old habits to trying something new. So how can you self-pleasure with your hand or with a crystal or glass wand versus a vibrator? Well, there's many ways to explore your body with your hand. So you can explore different types of touch. So for example, if you are exploring your clitoris with your hands, you can try tapping on either side of your clitoris. You can tap directly on top of the clitoris. You can tap above the clitoris. You can do circles. You can do up and down motions. And again, exploring on either side of the clitoris, on the clitoris or on top of the clitoris. Sometimes women have a more sensitive side, right? I think it's often the left side. I don't know exactly the percentage, but often the left side just above the clitoris is the most sensitive and feels the most pleasure. So just exploring with that, exploring light strokes versus hard strokes and how your body reacts to it, exploring edging. So, maybe using really heavy strokes until you feel a lot of buildup of pleasure, and then coming away from that and exploring with lighter strokes, building up again, and then coming away from that and exploring that way. Now exploring your other sort of pleasure network. So your clitoris is actually quite massive and has a lot of internal structures. And part of that is the legs that run just below your labia, or the bulb, sorry. And the bulbs really can become engorged when you're turned on and can feel really pleasurable. That's like the urge to rub your vulva on a thigh or on a couch or something that's a firm surface, and that's why it feels good, is that we have these bulbs that run below our vulva. So playing with strokes, with touch, with pressure on the bulbs, exploring the entrance to your vagina with gentle circles, by pressing in, by stroking your labia, stroking your whole vulva, stroking your inner thighs, and then exploring in your vaginal canal. So exploring all the walls of the vaginal canal with your finger. What does it feel like? What touch feels good? Exploring again with different strokes, different styles of touch, like circular motions or pressing around with lighter or medium pressure. Exploring your G-spot, which is just about a ½ inch can be up to 2 inches within your vaginal canal on the belly side. Exploring touch in there, exploring all the way up into your cervix, and exploring around your cervix, your A spot, which is just again on the belly side of your vaginal canal. So there are many ways to explore without a dildo or a vibrator, and using your hand is such a wonderful way to get to know your body and increase neuronal networks so that you're wiring and firing different areas of your body through your touch, increasing sensation, increasing therefore pleasure, and really coming home to your body and coming home to pleasure without a vibrator or a dildo. And then, of course, you can always return to that. But why not take a break for a little bit and see what else is available? I super encourage you to try it out. And as always, all my best on the journey. Reach out with any questions. I'd love to hear more. And if you would like to know more about how to self-pleasure, stay tuned. I've got a really great course coming out called Coming Home, and it's all about self-pleasure. It's all about reclaiming your body with confidence so that you feel really good, really alive, and really empowered in and out of the bedroom.